Good morning, y'all, and welcome to winter in Texas. Let me get in the truck. Whew. So just how cold is it? Well, it's a nice 33 degrees. Sun's coming up. It's supposed to be in the 40s today, and the cold weather's not here. You guys are probably laughing at us because the entire United States is way colder than us right now. But what's going on up there in those states is making it very cold here in Texas. Today's Wednesday. It's the last nice day for a while. Tomorrow and Friday, we might get snow in Texas. We might have snow. Well, by now you already know whether or not y'all are laughing at us. But Texas could be shut down right now when you're watching this because we don't know how to drive in snow or ice. So we'll see. But that's not what today's video is about. Today, I have to go on a road trip to help my mom fix something in Houston, Texas. And well, I don't want to go alone, so I'm gonna get a special guest. A guest you guys have been requesting for quite a while now.
Good morning, y'all. Y'all probably don't know who I am, do you? This help? I'm back.
You guys may not know who's in the car with me, but this is my father-in-law, Phil. He's been on the channel once or twice a long time ago. And he said, I want to get back on the channel. I want to talk to those people again.
I thought he's mad at me or something. I hadn't seen y'all in so long. I said, shoot, I'm about to reintroduce myself. Then I forgot, once you see this face, you don't forget it.
So Phil, what do you think about this beautiful weather we're having in Texas right now?
Honestly, I wish they'd leave it up north. I'll be honest with you.
Hey, the bad weather's not even here yet.
Oh, man,
this is the nicest it's gonna be until tonight.
You know, I used to live up north, and I'd always look at.
Woo, you're from up north?
No, I was born.
Do people know that?
I was born in Mississippi. People, don't y'all get confused. I said I got mistracted up there. I took a left when I should have took a right and come down. But anyhow, making a long story short, I used to see the weather map, and I lived in Michigan, by the way, and I'd say, well, our weather's getting down to almost minus nothing. You know, it's cold up here. I looked down there at Texas, 65, 70 degree weather. I said, boy, they got it made down there. So long story short, we moved down here finally, and that first year was summertime. So it was pretty nice out there. You know, I said, boy, this is all right. You know, I can handle this. Winter come along, and I didn't even get out of winter coat. You know, I said, I'm in Texas. I'm going to be all right. So I walked outside, and I like to have froze to death. And that's when I learned something pretty important. There's a difference between a dry cold and a wet cold. Down here, y'all get wet colds. It's cold down here, even at 32, you know, 33 degrees. Up yonder, you can walk around in a t-shirt at 32 degrees because it's a dry cold. So my education on weather, man, started right then. That's all I got.
All right, don't talk right now. We take a break from our drive to let you know that there's a huge warm front coming in. It's 37 now, Phil.
Man, I'm about to sweat myself down. I'm not lying. Y'all believe that?
So we're stopping here because we're not to Houston yet, but we're right at the edge of Houston. And being from the country like I am now and like Phil has been his whole life, we know that bathrooms are hard to get to once you get in Houston. So being the responsible travelers we are, we're gonna stop, use the restroom, get something to drink because we could be at my mom's house in about 20 minutes or 2 hours, depending on what everybody else on the road is doing.
This is your old kind of stomping grounds down in this area?
Oh yeah, Phil.
That's what I was thinking. Lord have mercy. Who'd ever thought somebody from Houston would marry my daughter? It wasn't really Houston people. He gets a bye on that one.
And he's not wrong. So if you don't know anything about me, I grew up in a small town called Tomball, Texas. It's right outside Houston. Well, back then it was outside Houston. Now it's basically part of Houston. But where we are right now, Phil, you see all this stuff right here?
Yeah.
Everything you see? Well, if you were here in high school, You probably were being chased by the police because you were probably on someone's private property. Because
Really?
none of this existed when I was in high school. There was nothing out here. Someone owned this.
Huh.
Look at it now.
Man, they got houses and apartments. They got everything out here.
Like, this road didn't even exist. There was no way to get where we are right now. This was just property. Houston's growing fast. Like you guys will see. I grew up in a neighborhood, but it wasn't a neighborhood like today's neighborhoods. Like, yes, it is a neighborhood, but it was almost like it didn't make sense because it was like our neighborhood and then country. Like, we were like a random neighborhood built in the middle of nowhere. Now it makes sense because we were part of what was coming, because there's neighborhoods all around. But back then we were like, oh yeah, we live in a neighborhood, but we're kind of still in the country.
I guarantee you. Well, it sure shot up. I live in a little old town in Texas. I think we got 5,000 people. That's about 1.5 blocks down here.
So yeah, I went to high school almost 25 years ago. So a lot's happened in 25 years. But I don't think a lot's happened to your town in 25 years, Phil.
No. There's a lot's happened, but it hadn't expanded or grown or... Hey, we got an interstate coming through our town now.
No. They're building a bypass so they don't have to come through your town no more.
That's right. And that can't happen quick enough because I live right on the highway. Everybody comes down through there.
So yeah, I grew up in a pretty small town right outside Houston. Alicia grew up in a small town way outside Houston, and it's still small. Now, I looked it up the other day, Phil. We were barely a 5A school in high school. Now I think we have like 4 5A schools. 4 5A high schools in my town, or my old town.
Dang. That's expansion, people. That's expansion.
Like this right here. None of this was here. None of this was here. We were still in someone's field.
And you know what? They just keep on expanding out. I mean, Houston area, you could define it used to be, but now everything's a project. It's going to be bigger and bigger and bigger.
It's hard to tell where it starts and where it ends because it just keeps expanding.
I don't even know what the population is down in this area. I mean, just Houston itself is probably, what, 1 or 2 million or 3?
It's probably way more than that by now.
Oh, is it?
I haven't looked it up, but it's a lot.
Yeah, that's a lot of
Especially if you consider all the towns around, because this little concrete jungle thing y'all seeing,
yeah.
if you're not from here, you're probably saying like, oh, okay, so that's normal. But if you're from here, you understand how it is. It's like Houston city limits stop really far away from where you actually feel like you're in Houston.
Right.
Like, you're like 30 miles out from Houston and it starts to feel like Houston.
Yeah.
Like, it's just one concrete jungle of just the same old, same old.
Right.
Every red light, you're gonna have a shopping center full of all the things. And if you miss it, just go to the next red light and all that stuff's there again.
There you go. There you go.
I will say, this little tollway we're on right now, this didn't exist when I was in high school. And to get to some of these places, we used to have to take, I mean, MapQuest was a lot of pages on how many left and right turns you had to take to get places back in the day. And now, you have this giant super speedway that gets you everywhere in a real big hurry. Unless someone makes a poor choice, and then no one gets anywhere in a hurry.
Yeah.
You see that high school over there?
Oh, yeah.
Klein Oak High School.
So
that school, if you look that way, the school was the only thing out here. Like, there was nothing but cow fields around that school. And it kind of looks like that right there.
Yeah.
All this over here did not exist. None of that existed. Like, when we came out to this high school, we felt like we went to the end of the world to get here. Like, this was the edge of the world because it was so far away and it took so long to get here. But there was none of this. We just felt like we were in the middle of nowhere. We were always like, who would live out here so far away from everything?
Yeah.
Well, they just didn't tell us that everything was coming to them eventually.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this is what Tomball, Texas looks like now too, also. Like, we didn't have all this stuff either. Like, if we wanted to go get groceries and stuff, we had to drive like 15 minutes to the big town of Tomball, go to the Super Walmart, and get our stuff. Lots happened in 25 years.
I guarantee you. I guess it's progress. I guess they say this is progress. I'm just baffled. I don't. This is too big for me.
You want to drive?
No.
You don't want to get behind the wheel of this dually and see how people treat you?
Well, I know how you got to drive. You just got to forget all the rules and get at it.
Oh, yeah. I'm gonna tell you right now, the road we're on, like the speed limit's there, but that's like a suggestion for the minimum you should be going, because this feels like Daytona 500 qualifying sometimes.
That's kind of like a one-liner joke. 55. I'm going 95 and I can't keep up.
They're no joke here. Oh, wait till this weather comes.
Oh,
they're going to try to do this and there's ice on the ground and the whole north is going to be laughing at us. They're all going to laugh at us.
Yep. Man, I tell you.
That's part of the reason why we're here today, Phil. We couldn't wait till tomorrow to come because we want to be anywhere near this city tomorrow.
Yeah, they're talking about sleet, ice. That's good old East Texas. What do they say? They say if you don't like the weather, just wait 15 minutes. That's pretty well it. Till summertime hits, usually. It's hot. It's hot in the summertime.
If you need rain, you ain't gonna get it.
Yeah. If you don't need rain, you're gonna get it.
Whatever you need, that's the opposite of what it's gonna give.
Aren't y'all glad that we're not in control of the weather, though? Can you imagine the taxes we'd have? You want good weather? Cost you so much a day. They put a tax on it.
See this giant ball thing?
Yeah.
Whatever that is?
Yeah.
We knew about that in high school, but it was a mystery on how to get here because this road and all the roads around here didn't exist. So everyone had heard about that thing, but no one knew how to get to it. And if you found it, we didn't have cell phones back then. We couldn't look at a map. We couldn't even tell people how to get here, but we knew there was a place to come hang out in high school.
It was kind of like a myth that you heard about, huh?
Yeah, and now that we have a road going by, I don't think people actually know what it's for still. We used to always like had this joke. It was like to talk to aliens and stuff back in high school. Because no one could explain why there was this giant round thing in the middle of nowhere that kids would go hang out around.
Yeah, I still don't know what it is. Probably a water jug or something. I don't know.
Water jug?
Yeah, out in the middle of nowhere. You know, if you don't like where you live, just wait a decade or two. It'll probably change. People used to move out here to get away from the country, didn't they? Get away from the city.
If you lived here in high school, people questioned why you were so far away from everything.
Yeah. Why they want to live?
Why'd you move? Like, if we had friends out here, you'd be like, well, my parents aren't bringing me out there. It's too far. You have to come to us. And now, like, it's the same. Like, because when I grew up, towards the end of my high school years, we were starting to get stuff like this. But it was one of those things. It didn't feel like it was going to be happening that soon.
Yeah. These things just pop up like overnight.
Like they must like prefab them somewhere and they just poof, just drop them down overnight.
Yeah. I don't know. They got it down to a art, I guarantee you. Y'all ever go to these big cities and you're riding around and never been there before? That's kind of what Houston and Spring area was and all that to me. And I couldn't even read the names on the dadgum signs up there. Crocodile or something like that, or how you say it?
It's Kirkendall.
Kirkendall.
And Boudreaux.
Boudreaux, yeah. That don't sound East Texas to me. What happened to Smith Road and Jones's Road? You don't see a lot of Garrett roads every now and then. Oh, I tell you, I guess I got to keep making up names, you know. Well, Junior spelled it out for me and he misspelled it. Let's just write it down there. They'll believe it. Here it is. And we're just rambling on. Look at it, point over yonder. Look at all that. Do you think the guy that designed that on paper had a few headaches? He said, if I don't get my dadgum angles just right, we're going to have a tornado of a mess down there.
Look at that. Look how big that junkyard is right there.
I know it.
That's nice of them to put these flags up in front of the junkyard.
He's taking a poke at me, folks. That's a Chevrolet dealership. I don't understand that. Of course, if I had my pick, I'd have a Toyota, I guess, or a Ford. But I guess I did kind of have a choice. What do y'all think? What do y'all think? Chevrolet, Ford, Toyota? Or maybe Tesla.
Y'all notice the man that drives a Dodge didn't even offer to put Dodge in the voting.
Nah, I got a Dodge, but it's a good truck. But I just remember the old Dodges. It finally cranks up. They're not like that anymore.
Now they just don't crank.
That's
huh?
what I stick to say. Now they don't even turn over. Dodge is a good truck. I say good, not great.
You know what makes me the most annoyed by your truck? Is that I can't back up with the door open.
Isn't that the truth? They ought to be able to disable. They may can. I don't know. Yeah, that's, you get in a hurry, you like to throw that door open, hang your head out. You don't do it on that one.
Put it in park.
This thing won't run, it won't do nothing. It did to me that first time. I didn't know what the heck happened. I said, that's about like a damn Dodge. Oh, excuse me, a darn Dodge. I don't know if you're allowed to cuss on this channel or not.
I mean, no one's watching.
Yeah. Oh, well. That's kind of like me in high school. Nobody listened to me anyway, so I can say what I want to.
Oh, they listened right at the worst time, too, didn't they?
Yeah. You said, yeah, they could pinpoint the bad.
You'd be like, I said a whole bunch of other stuff, too.
Y'all missed the good part and got the bad part. Now, there's a school over yonder. Good.
That school was not here when I was in high school, but it was here when I was in college.
It went up that quick.
Hey, I'll put it like this. We didn't even have sidewalks growing up in this neighborhood right here.
Yeah.
There was no sidewalks.
What's that guy do? Got him spare Fords he has to carry around with him?
It's a Dodge guy with 2 Fords behind him, so he wants to make sure he gets home.
He tried to Ford pulling them, but they couldn't do it. So they had to put him a Dodge up there.
So yeah, this is my neighborhood I grew up in.
We in the hood.
And it does look like a neighborhood because it is a neighborhood. But like I said, all around us was cow fields. Like, it didn't make sense that this neighborhood was where it was because we were kind of like a country neighborhood. So even though we got to be like neighborhood kids, we were made fun of because we were out there in the fields. So they were like, I don't know why y'all built a neighborhood way far away from everything else. But yeah, now it's right smack dab in the middle of suburbia. Everything looks like this.
I got a question for you. This is probably where your roots of forming a mowing industry started.
Oh yeah, I mowed all these yards, by
That's
the way.
what I was thinking, yeah. Yeah.
I mowed everything.
By the way, he's got another channel. It's called Off the Road with Kevin. Off the Path
It's called
with
Off
Kevin.
the Path with Kevin.
I'm sorry.
Because Phil's my #1 fan, and he watches all my videos. He just didn't know what we're called.
Yeah, I used to mow. But this is where the roots were put down in you.
Oh yeah, I used to own this neighborhood. You could not out sell me. 14, 15-year-old Kevin, I locked all these yards up.
Yep. That's a lot of mowing too. I mean, it's not a lot of mowing, but it's a lot of yards.
It'll wear the Craftsman mower quick.
Yeah, yeah. That's where you just unloaded in one block, parked the truck down there.
Unload it. I didn't have a truck then. I just pushed it around.
You just pushed it around, huh? 1 horsepower, 1 manpower. Had a lot of, I guess it was a growing neighborhood back then, wasn't it?
I'll put it like this. My neighborhood was so new that where we're existing right now, there was no houses that way. Like, not only were we the country neighborhood, our house is on the street that had no more houses behind it.
Oh, wow.
Like, even this street didn't have all the houses on it yet when I lived here. Like, somewhere right in here, they just stopped.
Yeah, I remember when Alicia moved out there to Katy. I mean, there was a few houses out there in that subdivision. And how long did she live there? Approximately.
I don't know, a year or two.
Yeah, not long, but before it was over with, there wasn't hardly a lot that wasn't sold with a house on it.
Okay, so we are at my mom's house, and this is the project we're here for. Her hot water heater decided it didn't want to hold water anymore. So we are here to help her change it out because it's freezing out and she has no hot water. So I had to bring Phil because I need a supervisor and I need someone else to help me with all this stuff. First things first, we gotta get everything disconnected. Then we get to go to my favorite store, and pick a new one out. Hey Phil.
Hey.
Yeah, I got a hot water heater I'll sell you. Good deal. Good deal.
Yeah.
Almost free.
You make me a special offer?
That's right.
Man, I don't even have gas at my house. I'm all electric.
All right, Phil, so you know what's going to be the biggest comment on this video?
No idea.
What do we call this thing? What is the name of this appliance?
Hot water heater.
That's right, and they're not going to be able to handle it. You call it a hot water heater because you don't heat hot water, because most people that watch this channel ain't from here. But what do we call it?
Hot water heater.
That is a hot water heater.
I guess that technically is a cold
It's just a water heater. It's just a water heater.
Okay, water heater. Okay.
But in the South, because that's the way we grew up, this is a hot water heater.
Yep.
H-O-T. Hot water heater. And guess what? By now, there's going to be like 14 people have already commented that it's not called a hot water heater.
It's not a hot water heater.
I bet if we go to Lowe's in a minute and ask them where the water heater is, they don't know where that is. But we ask them where a hot water heater is, they're going to know exactly what we need.
That's right.
Hey, do you know what these things are called?
Well, it depends on what world you come from.
Well, I'm going to ask you.
You're from hot water heater.
You're from the
go.
South, so it's called a what?
Well, no, they put the unnecessary word in front.
He's smarter than I was. I just said hot water heater. That's what we called
well,
it.
you don't heat hot water, but that's okay.
What he told me.
But my Hispanic friends call them a boiler.
But if I walk in and say I need a hot water heater.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If I said I need a water heater.
I know what you're talking about.
Well, most people down here say
Well,
hot water heater.
Absolutely. You're absolutely correct.
Where do you say your cold water heaters?
Oh, they're right next to them. We got our hot water heater.
Yeah.
And the man even played along a little bit. Even though he knows the difference, he still knows. People down here call them hot water heaters.
No, they're called tubes.
They're called tubes. They may not have seen that clip. I don't know if I'm going to use that guy. That first guy didn't do so hot.
I know it.
We definitely got somebody that was not from the plumbing department to answer the plumbing question. He's like, I don't know what those things are called.
I don't know what that
And I couldn't tell if he was joking, but the more he talked, the more I realized he might not know what those things are called.
He said, it kind of looks like a tube to me. I said, well, okay. I said, you was raised in the country, wasn't you? Lord have mercy. Makes me look like a genius, don't it? I knew it was a hot water heater.
That's right. You're going to take hot water and make it hotter.
That's right.
Because we always need hot water.
Hot water, baby. What about when you're in hot water?
You got to heat it up. Hot water heater. That looks a whole lot nicer than that. I'll still make a good deal on this one, Phil. This is a water heater, as I've been told.
Is this a one-time offer?
It's a one-time offer
I
on this
guess-
slightly used water heater.
I thought it was a tube.
It's just a tube. All right, we are going to put that right there, and we're going to do it the easy way. And there we have it. That was so easy. It was so easy we forgot to film the part where we had to go back to Lowe's before we could finish installing that.
Well, that goes in the manual. 3 trips to Lowe's and you're done.
We only had 2 trips, and the second trip was because I was very confident in reusing all the hoses that are 30 years old, and guess what didn't want to screw into the new water heater? None of the hoses. So we went back and got all new hoses, including the gas line. Now we got it fired up. It's heating up. We're gonna wait around and see to make sure Mama still has hot water.
Yep.
And then we gotta make the long trek back home to the country.
So what you're saying, if she's got hot water, we don't get it in hot water, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
All right, we are done at my mom's house and we're getting ready to head back home. We have one stop to make because today is a very special day for someone.
Yes, it is.
Who's that someone?
Well, I better know this one, hadn't I?
Uh-huh.
Alicia has a birthday today.
That's right. Today is Alicia's birthday and she looks great for 28, don't you think?
Yes, I do. And I'm not going to argue with that age either.
So we're gonna stop here and we're gonna get something for her. She told us no. I absolutely do not want anything for my birthday because we went really good at Christmas time for her. And as a guy, I know that means don't not do anything.
Don't do nothing.
So we're going in there and we're gonna do the same thing she does for the girls. We're gonna get balloons, cupcakes, we're gonna get a cake. We're gonna go and do things that she said not to do because secretly she's gonna love it.
Somebody's gonna have a party, aren't they?
She doesn't know it yet, but she's about to have a party. The girls are gonna love it more than her, but I know Alicia. She's gonna want some cupcakes, some cookies, and probably some ice cream. We have supplies, Phil.
Oh lordy, what we got?
A cake.
Oh wow.
Smaller cakes.
More cakes.
More smaller cakes.
Lord have mercy.
And a whole bunch of obnoxious things that Alicia's gonna laugh about. The kids are gonna love it, but Alicia's gonna play along. I got glow-in-the-dark things for their heads.
Oh, it's gonna be cool.
This is what happens when a man chooses a party. The kids are gonna have an amazing time. Alicia, well, it's probably not as girly as you want, but hey, our kids, they're gonna love it.
This is welcome to the almost 5 o'clock traffic leaving Houston, Texas.
And who are we kidding? It never really stops, but it gets considerably worse in the evening.
Yeah, there's not a quote-unquote good time. There's less misery.
Yeah, it's just less bad time.
Yeah. Oh,
Don't you wish you could live here and do this every day?
Oh man, I'd come out of my way to do that. You know what? Shoot, no. I said, I've got a little bit of a traffic problem in my place, and that ain't nothing compared to here.
Do you want to hear what Phil's traffic problem at his house is? They have 3 red lights in his town, and if he has to stop at 1, now the day's over. Turn it back. Go back to the house. We're done.
I might lay off work. If that don't work, then we might get the 2nd red light, and that's sure enough, 2 out of 3, you got to go to the house. Everybody knows that. Because your 3 strikes, you're out. Now, I was a very dependable worker when I punched the clock.
Once you got there.
Yeah, once I got there. I didn't have a problem getting there. It was just getting out of the car, going up there and punching that clock. When you join the Army, my daddy told me something a long time ago. They purchase your body. They own you. They own you, boy. Don't you ever think you own yourself. They'll teach you. They own you. It's kind of like punching the clock at work, You just sold your soul and your body, well, not your soul, your body, to them. And I think I sold it a lot of times way too cheap. But anyways, that was my opinion. That's about all I got.
Y'all had enough Phil yet?
I've
been rambling. I've been letting him ramble. So you guys get a fill of Phil. You get that? A fill of Phil.
I kept looking over to see if you're going to cut in. You didn't do it. I said, am I really that interested?
The people have spoken. They want more Phil.
They're probably going to say, we want a whole lot less Phil now. But we're ending this little trip and we're going to get out of here in this madness. We're going to have to probably turn the camera off because it might get kind of X-rated. I don't know, is it X-rated now?
No, we have a dually.
Okay, we got a dually.
People in the city, they real afraid of dualies.
Yeah.
Out there where we live, everybody got dualies. Ain't nobody afraid of a dually. But here, if you want something, you just let them know you want it, and they usually give it to you.
Hey, we got a little secret weapon underneath this truck here. Sounds like a train horn.
I'll tell you what, in Houston, it really gets people going too. They don't expect it.
Grab your bag. Thank you. Oh my goodness. More cupcakes and cake.
Happy birthday.
Hi, Katie.
Happy birthday.
I didn't know we were filming the occasion.
We are.
Happy birthday to me.
Surprise.
Anybody want to guess how old I am? Be kind. Surprise.
Don't look a day over 28.
There you go. I'm festive for 42. Wait, 42. Now I told y'all how old I am. Tell me I don't look a day over 28.
I've already said it twice in this video.
I need them to also tell me, to reassure me. I'm filling up there in age lately. Look at this girl. She's got a hat, a light up balloon. You're very festive in your picking out of decorations.
Oh, I know. I just said make it fun for the
You
kids.
said it's 42. We gotta light this thing up. I'm old now. Light this baby up.
If you want to light 42, we're going to have to call a fire marshal.
Yeah, you see what I did for my candles. I did 4 and 2. So we get 6 candles instead of 42. I don't want to burn the house down.
Happy birthday, dear mommy. Happy birthday to you.
You gonna help? Okay, help. Yay! Can't tell you what my wish is.
Happy 24.
Happy 24, 24, 28. I'll take it.
Like 42 years ago.
I was a big baby.
Hey, you want to hear something
9
funny?
pounds and 6
And
ounces.
what?
Yeah, you came out with a big head too?
Not 9 pounds and 6 ounces.
You were 9 something.
We're gonna have to verify that and we'll get back to you.
Hey, you know what's funny? When we hung up with
thought
you,
it was 8.
you were like, I know what I was doing 42 years ago. And Phil goes, I wonder what she was up to 42 years ago.
Kevin came with jokes. I told him there better be a $50 bill in here. That's the only reason I see all these 50s, right?
Oh,
Can't
yeah.
wait to see what the kids bought me. Why? Can y'all read it? It says, I've asked this naked guy to deliver a special message for you. Sorry, I only asked him to write a short little note. Why can't men follow simple directions? Happy birthday to you. You look under it, it says, what are you looking under here for?
What a happy birthday. I want you guys to go in the comments and wish Alicia the happiest birthday. But now that it's her birthday, that means there's one more thing left to do to this house. It's now time to take Christmas away. Anyway, guys, hope you had a good one. We love you, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.